Hi, how are you today? Welcome back to another short Professor Timo lesson. I'm Timo. Today we'll troubleshoot some pronunciation issues. We'll start with some vowel sounds, then we'll move on to the letter R, and then we'll just compare some sounds and try to get you moving forward with your English language development. All right, I'll share my screen here to show you what we're working with today. So like I said, we've got some vowel sounds, the letter R, we'll compare some sounds, then we'll do some syllable work to get you thinking about that. We'll work on connecting words and we'll end up with ED verb pronunciation, types of verbs that give a lot of people trouble. So the first word is favor, favor. That gives you the nice A sound there, A, favor. Repeat after me. Favor. Okay, let's jump to the I sound after that. So for the I, I've given you a couple different sounds. Number one is find. That gives you the I, find. A lot of times this is mistaken for this sound, E, fiend. Fiend is what the devil, to be honest, is sometimes called. So you don't want to mistake these two words, find versus fiend, because you might be saying something that you're not intending to say. So there you go. That's got the I sound, find. Next, we have decide, making the same I sound, find, decide. Our third word is client. So each of these three words so far have said the I sound. Find, decide, client. Then we have quiet. And finally, we have, like you find in the airplane or the supermarket, aisle. So you'll see that these last three words have vowel combinations. So that makes it tricky sometimes. So practice them up. With exposure, you'll be able to do this. So repeat after me. Find, decide, client, quiet, and aisle. All right. Next, we'll tackle one of the last vowel sounds, the U. One of the U sounds is to say So our first word here, suddenly, suddenly. Repeat after me, suddenly. Okay. The next word down is cousin, cousin. There's a few tricky parts in this. First of all, don't say both the O and the U. They just make a U sound, like in suddenly, cousin. Also, the S is sometimes difficult because it makes a Z sound, cousin. Repeat after me, cousin. Okay, now, sometimes the R can be mistaken by speakers of other language. In particular, Brazilians will make the R sound like an H. So you want to remember that in English, the R just has one sound that it makes, R, R. You can see the mouth, R. So all these words will start out the same. The first one is remember, remember. After that, we have relationship, relationship. Third, rude, rude. Make sure you notice my mouth here. It's making kind of an O, rude. Then we have two names. Rita, that's a first name, Rita. And Roberts is a last name, Roberts. Okay, so that R sound will be the same for all of them. So repeat after me. Remember, relationship, rude, Rita, and Roberts. All right, let's move on now. One of the tricky things about English is that vowel sounds are very, very similar. So a lot of people make a lot of mistakes by substituting one vowel sound for another vowel sound. Sadly and unfortunately, sometimes you're saying a different word when you're trying to say one word. So for example, here we have a name, Ben. That's usually a man's name from the word Benjamin. But don't mistake that with this one on the right, Bean. So what can you do? One of the things you can do is make sure of your mouth position here. So take a look. Ben, mouth is more closed, Ben, versus bean, bean. All right, try that out. Ben, bean. Okay, in the next set of words, you have the E sound, like in bean, versus the I sound. So here on the left, we have field, field, versus filed. So check out the mouth again. E, I, field, filed. Okay, repeat after me. Field, filed. Okay, something similar is happening here. Feel, fell, feel, fell. You can see the difference in my mouth. So make sure that when you practice these, you're really conscious of the way that your mouth is moving and the mechanics of your own mouth. All right, try these again. The one on the left is feel. And the one on the right is fell, fell. Okay. Our next set of sounds to compare is the letter K versus the thing that you use to open a lock, which is a key. All right, so let's try these sounds. K, key, K, key. Note the position of the mouth. K, it doesn't move much. K, key. It opens up quite a bit. And then one last set. Shoot, shut. Ooh, shoot, shut. Okay, repeat after me. Shoot, shut. All right. Our next section is about syllables. When you add the Y in English, most of the time it'll add a syllable for you. So here we have a couple sets of names. This one right here is Joe, Joe, a one syllable name, versus the diminutive Joey. That's a two syllable. Joe, Joey. It's the same as this next set. Bob, Bobby. So when you add that Y on the end, it's going to make an extra syllable. So repeat that after me. Joe, Joey. And then Bob, Bobby. So we can do the same principle in a number of different words. Here, next we have mess versus messy. This one with the Y you should be familiar with if you're a fan of football, where we have Leo Messi. In English, you pronounce his name the same as that word messy, which means disorderly, unclean a bit. So try that one again. Mess, messy. All right. Moving on. Babe, baby. So you'll see that that Y is adding a whole extra syllable. And lastly, we have not a Y, but a double E. The double E is going to do the same sort of thing. So we have cough, coffee. You'll see as I'm doing these lessons that I'm moving my hands, especially in syllable work that can help you. Cough, coffee. So your hands can guide you, help you out a little bit there. All right, now 2 more sections. So let's work on connecting words here. So here you have pick up, that's the present tense version, versus the past tense version, picked up. So how can we do this? Since up starts with a vowel, you can connect it to the consonant before it. Therefore, you connect it to the K. Pick up, pick up. Try it after me, pick up. Now here, this word is picked. So it ends with a D. So connect the U to the D, picked up, picked up. All right, try those ones again. On the left, pick up. On the right, picked up. Okay, and our next connected word is the letter S connecting to the letter S. So you just need to say that one time. I was sleeping. Was sleeping, was sleeping. You'll see that the S blends in. I was sleeping. Try that with me. I was sleeping. It's nice how it flows, right? It flows a little bit. So let's end with the ED verb pronunciation. All right, I'll run through this list fast for you. Cracked, kicked, dressed, used, asked, walked, dropped, improved, arrived, called. I'd like to ask you a question. What sound did you hear at the end? You heard like a T sound, right? Cracked, kicked. So it's very important that you don't add another syllable. You just keep it, okay? So the word crack, when it's in the ED, when it's no ED, it's one syllable, crack. When there's the ED, it's also one syllable, cracked. The only difference is the ending sound, the soft cracked. Try this one, kicked. So it should end in a soft T, just a soft sound. And you shouldn't be adding another syllable. All right, try this one, dressed. Used. Asked. Walked. Dropped. Then this one, improved. Arrived. Called. Okay, so there you have a few tips for pronunciation. Pronunciation in English is going to be difficult if you just think about it. If you're just reading a book and you're just looking at words on a page, it's going to be difficult for you. So what you should do is put it into practice. If you watch movies, repeat some of the phrases that you hear. Definitely sing songs out loud. But as you're doing it, focus on some of the trouble areas for you, and you should be able to make some improvements. So thanks for joining us today. If you like what you see, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.